On the news tonight, Nigerian Army to launch sustained operations in forests identified as portraits of criminal gangs in Kwara North and South Sundara districts. President Bola Tinubu issues a marching order to the military to confront Boko Haram terrorists, bandits, and other criminal gangs. Nigerian Postal Service disowns allegations claiming drug trafficking through the country's courier services surged under President Bola Tinubu's administration. On the foreign scene, Uganda's long-serving President Yoweri Museveni declared governing party's candidate in next year's presidential election. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Okpayemuni. The Nigerian Army has concluded plans to launch sustained operations in the forests identified as the fortress of criminal gangs in Kwara North and South Sundara districts. The operations, according to a government statement by Rafiu Ajakaye, the spokesman for Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, would involve the newly trained forest guards in the isolated areas. It said the operations would flush criminals from their hideouts and restore lasting calm in the affected areas, while care will be taken to prevent the violent elements from hibernating elsewhere. The statement explained that the state government had been working with the Office of the National Security Advisor to eliminate the threats in parts of the state, especially in identified settlements in the Felodu, Edu, and Patigi local government areas. President Bola Tinubu has issued a marching order to the military to confront Boko Haram terrorists, bandits, separatists, and other criminal gangs threatening the peace and sovereignty of the nation, stating that the time to crush the criminals is now. President Tinubu, who gave the charge at the grand finale of the 2025 Nigerian Army Day celebration held in Kaduna State, reaffirmed his administration's unwavering commitment to the welfare of officers and soldiers of the armed forces. He also promised to continue to invest in modern equipment, intelligence, and human capital that would improve the effectiveness of the military. Represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, President Tinubu reminded the officers and men to discharge their duties with a high sense of professionalism, courage, discipline, and honor, guided by the nation's constitution and international best practices. In Borno State, Governor Babagana Zulum has disclosed that the government will resettle an additional 3,000 households in Malam Fatori, Abadam local government area. Governor Zulum made the disclosure while briefing journalists shortly after his sympathy visit to the people of Malam Fatori over the recent attack by Boko Haram insurgents that claimed 9 lives and left 4 others injured. The governor, represented by the State Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Professor Usman Tar, said these will bring to 5,000 the total number of resettled families. He called on the people to be resilient and prayerful, urging them to report any suspicious movement to relevant authorities. Moving on, the Rivers State Police Command has declared 2 senior officials of the Awada East local government area of the state wanted for their alleged involvement in the violent attack on the council administrator, Goodluck Eanacho. The officials are the Chief Security Officer of Awada East local government area, Hector Ekakita, and the council's Chief of Staff, Aloni Olodi. Eanacho is one of the 23 administrators appointed by the state sole administrator, Vice Admiral Ibok Eket Ibas, retired, to oversee the affairs of the various councils shortly after he assumed office. A statement by the spokesperson of the State Police Command, Grace Iringa Koko, explained that the Commissioner of Police, Ulugbenga Depoju, declared them wanted for refusing to honor an earlier invitation to report to the State Police Headquarters for questioning over their alleged roles in the incident. The police had alleged the duo led a group of 30 youths who invaded the LG administrator's office, beat him up, carried away some vital documents in his office, and forced Eanacho to sign a letter of resignation, which they placed in front of him. According to the statement, the 2 officials are accused of criminal conspiracy, stealing, assault, occasioning harm, and attempted murder. Talking Ed. Women in Osun State have been advised to pay adequate attention to their reproductive health and ensure regular medical checkups for early detection of new symptoms of prompt treatment. In an interview with Rave FM News, a gynecologist at Osun State University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Rafayat Aziz, urged women to recognize the symptoms of endometriosis and visit hospitals on time to avoid complications. On her part, Ajia Rashida Yusuf also advised women to maintain balance between their roles as wives and as members of a society. For Mrs. Monsurat Adewale, Assistant Medical Laboratory Scientist at State Specialist Hospital, Ashubiaro, and Ajia Sofat Ali Balogun from Fountain University, women need to be innovative, productively engaged, and take care of their health. Endometriosis is a disease where tissue similar to the lining of a uterus grows outside the uterus, causing pain and infertility.
The lecture I just delivered focused on endometriosis, which is a cause of silent pain in female of reproductive age group. So some of the things it causes, some of the symptoms it causes in women has been discussed in this lecture. And one of the things to prevent it is by presenting early in the hospital so as to avert the severe outcome of endometriosis.
Is basically on empowering Muslim women, calling the professionals to tell them that we can integrate work-life balance with our family, with our nature of our work, wherever we are. We can integrate both together, and we'll be able to be a successful person in the society. Also, we'll be able to be useful to our own life. When we talk about self-care, we talk about our self-worth, self-esteem, so that we're able to know that we too, we can perform. We are someone that is very vital in the society.
The essence of today's program is to enlighten Muslim women on how to bridge their faith, leadership, and career excellence. Since we know that there is an intercept between our deen and maintaining a distinction in these worldly affairs. So this program meant to bridge our faith, leadership, and the career excellence, such that there will be no interference with our mundane activities and our religious activities.
Muslim women should, as much as possible, take good care of their health. Health is wealth. If we notice anything that is impairing on our health, we must visit the appropriate place, check it in the hospital, and alhamdulillah, general hospital is more accommodating these days. If you do not check in good time, the sickness will be accumulating.
Adolescents and young people represent a growing share of people living with HIV worldwide, but there are concerns about the low level of testing rates, most especially in West Africa. In Nigeria, there is a Catholic non-governmental organization in the southwestern state of Osun campaigning to get more young people to test for HIV. Olalekan Akindoju has details.
There are several reasons why young people do not see the importance of taking an HIV test. These range from lack of awareness, perceived low risk, fear, confidentiality concerns, to lack of symptoms and limited access to youth-friendly services.
Nothing, because I don't have the symptoms.
No, because I'm not sexually active.
And actually, I used to protect myself against all those stuffs. So I don't have much time to go to hospital or check up, maybe because I'm pretty sure that there is nothing wrong with me, like about HIV or anything. So
According to UNICEF, in 2023 alone, 360,000 young people between the ages of 15 to 24 were newly infected with HIV, of whom 140,000 were adolescents between the ages of 15 and 19. There's, however, another challenge, that of low testing rates, with West and Central Africa rated as the worst affected sub-regions. Determined to increase testing rates, a Catholic non-governmental organization, the Justice, Development and Peacemaker Center, JDPMC, is raising awareness around the issue in Osun State, southwest Nigeria. Sponsored by the United States President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR, JDPMC has been embarking on outreaches to tertiary institutions while connecting young people to testing centers and involving social media influencers. Head of Programs for Democracy and Good Governance at JDPMC, Festus Ojewumi, says over 30,000 youths in Osun State do not know their HIV status.
We started the intervention focusing on young people because we realized that when you talk about HIV and AIDS, based on statistics, it's one of the infections that actually affects young people. Like what the data say of Osun State, like over 30,000 youths in Osun State don't actually know their HIV status, and the need for us to create awareness in ensuring that young people, especially the adolescents, knows their HIV status remain imperative.
Blessing and Temitayo are youths living in Osogbo, Osun State. For them, the campaign is crucial towards correcting misconceptions around HIV.
Yes, I think it is important that everyone knows their HIV status, and it keeps you safe, keeps you aware of where you stand.
In a bid to connect young people to primary healthcare centers and provide support to people with HIV, JDPMC developed a phone application.
The name of the application is iScan. So one of many things that the app does is that, number one, we have actually populated the list of the primary health centers offering HIV services in that app. So if you log into that app, you can actually download through the Play Store. It only runs on Play Store, not on iOS. So it's just to type HISCAN, iScan. So by the time you type it, you'll be able to download it. So once you download, you will see the list of primary health centers, like I said earlier. That is one. And for those who are actually positive, that application actually has the ability to remind them of when next they can take their antiretroviral drugs. So it's a message will just pop up on your screen, on the screen of your phone, if you have actually downloaded it. So to remind you, depending on the time you program on the application. So it will tell you it is time for you to visit social facility, it is time for you to take your ARV drugs and things like that. So
Osun State has an estimated population of 5 million residents, with young people amounting to about half of that number. While JDPMC is making considerable impact through its HIV campaign, there's a need for expansion and government's commitment. More attention needs to be paid to HIV education in schools. HIV testing and awareness services should be brought to where young people are, and mobile clinics or booths can be used to reduce access barriers. Olale Kwakindoju, Western Spring Television News.
The Chief Judge of Bayelsa State, Justice Matilda Abrakasa Ayemeye, has commended the collaborative efforts of security agencies and the Bayelsa State government in the rescue of Justice Ebiyere Omukoro from the hands of kidnappers. Omukoro, who was kidnapped on June 21 and regained freedom on July 3, spent 12 days in captivity. Justice Ayemeye expressed gratitude for his safe rescue. A statement by the head of media and information of the Bayelsa State Judiciary, Julius Nyanayo, said the rescue operation underscored the power of collaboration, patience, and professionalism in resolving such delicate situations. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has intercepted cocaine concealed in lipsticks and a property title document bound for the United Kingdom and Saudi Arabia. Operatives of the Directorate of Operations and General Investigation attached to a logistics firm in Lagos discovered the consignment on Thursday, July 3, 2025. In a statement, the agency spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, said a total of 420 grams of cocaine were hidden in 84 pieces of factory-fitted female lipsticks heading to the UK. while 280 grams of a drug were found inside a certificate of occupancy being sent to Saudi Arabia. In a separate operation, it said a drug kingpin, Jet Sibo Emami, was arrested in Ikeja on June 28, following a 3-day raid. Mr. Bafemi added that the operation led to the seizure of 681 pouches of Canadian loud, weighing 414.2 kilograms from 24 jumbo bags, and the arrest of 3 accomplices. It said in another operation, the family was arrested for drugs. According to him, the father, Ajah Johnson, his wife, Rosemary, their daughters, Stella and Ngozi, and the family friend, Okoro Elijah, were arrested in Lagos. In the meantime, the Nigerian Postal Service, NIPOST, has disowned the allegations attributed to it, claiming that drug trafficking through the country's courier services surged under President Bola Tinubu's administration. This comes amid a report by an online media outlet that said NIPOST suggested that drug trafficking through Nigeria's courier services increased under President Tinubu. However, in a statement, the country's official courier service institution described the report making the rounds in the media as false and misleading. NIPOST urged the public to disregard the report, noting that it is committed to Nigeria's security. The agency warned that any logistics operator found culpable of aiding criminal activity would face swift sanctions. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has pledged to resist election rigging and fight against poor governance in the country. Mr. Abubakar made the remarks in a post on his X page after meeting with Gombe stakeholders led by Idris Abdullahi, a former minister and senator. He said Nigerians cannot continue to suffer despite the country's vast resources, blaming poor leadership for the prevailing hardship. The ex-presidential candidate added that the coalition of opposition leaders under the African Democratic Congress, ADC, would work to bring about meaningful change in the country. Mr. Abubakar added that the quality of the coalition's interim leadership reflects its readiness to restore integrity and offer responsible governance. In the meantime, Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has dismissed speculation in some sections of the media that he would lead 5 other governors in defecting to the opposition coalition party, the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Governor Zulum, in a statement by his spokesperson, Dauda Iliya, described the rumor as an unfounded fabrication by unscrupulous elements seeking relevance. The governor reiterated his loyalty to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. He urged the people of Borno and the general public to disregard the speculation. According to him, the state government has no time for cheap politics, as its hands are full with the noble task of rebuilding and developing the state. 8 people were today confirmed dead and 8 others injured in a road accident at Atura bus stop inbound Badagry in Lagos State. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, which disclosed this in a statement, said the accident involved a collision between a 16-seater commercial Mazda bus and a DAF truck. The agency said a preliminary investigation revealed that the driver of a commercial bus lost control while navigating at a dangerous high speed, leading to a catastrophic collision with a DAF truck. It said the impact created by the accident left little chance for survival for several occupants of the bus. The agency said the casualties were immediately evacuated to the General Hospital in Badagry with an FRSC vehicle for critical medical attention. You are watching News at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come, Lagos State Government seals private educational institution located in Lekki over environmental infractions. We'll bring you more on these when we return.